Okay, great. It's 9 o'clock. That means we will start. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's SAP SuccessFactors Release webinar. We're very happy that you're joining us today, and we will give you a structured and clear overview over the next 30 minutes about the most important release highlights for each module. So before we get started, we would like to briefly introduce ourselves. My name is Elena Piazzolo. I work in the marketing and sales department at P78 and will be your moderator for today's webinar. I'm joined by my colleagues and consultants, Stefan, Anita, Flora, Justus, and Vina, which will be your main speakers for today. So before we dive into the release updates, I would like to introduce P78 quickly for those of you who haven't been in touch with us yet. Since 2023, P78 is part of the ZBS Group, an international corporate business consultancy with over 1,600 employees and 35 locations worldwide. As a subsidiary, we serve as the HCM practice within ZBS and are expanding their service portfolio with the core competence of human capital management. So we focus exclusively on HR, IT-related topics, and we support our clients not only with the implementation of SAP HR systems, but also with strategic consultings in the area of HR and IT. Our end-to-end services covers the full spectrum from developing HR/IT roadmaps and designing processes to system implementation and after go-live support, as well as our P78 apps and add-ons. Our focus areas include all SAP HR solutions, such as SAP H4S4, the new on-premise system, all SAP SuccessFactors models, which we are covering today, and SAP Concur for travel management. Currently, we hold over 100 certifications and have a team of over 90 certified consultants ready to support our clients successfully. But let's now take a look what we will cover today. We will begin with some overall updates, including news on platform and foundation. Then we will walk through the employee life cycle, starting with the HR core models, followed by recruiting, onboarding, the talent modules, learning, compensation, and opportunity marketplace, and finally, people analytics. Before we begin, just a quick note on how you can ask questions during the webinar. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A sections, which you can find at the bottom of your screen. This helps us keep track and we're able to give you a direct response to your question. If we don't manage to answer all your questions during the webinar, don't worry. After the webinar, you will receive an email with the recording, with also the slides from the webinar and the filled out Q&A document. So feel free to ask questions. We're happy to help you. And with that, I will hand over to you, Stefan.
Thanks, Elena. So I will introduce you a bit to the release features when it comes to the platform and foundation. So basically, this SAP invested a lot of time and effort, I guess, in UI changes. So for employee cards in the org chart and Spotlight, it now supports configurable user information, like including company, department, division, job title, location, and up to 15 custom fields. So this was not possible before. I think quite a nice feature. We'll jump to the next slide now. Thanks. Thanks to the enhancement in role-based permissions, administrators can now allow employees to view data from previous employments. So for inactive employments, there's also quite a nice enhancement. If you want to do so, you have to set the user status field in the granted access type as inactive, as you see in the screenshot on the right-hand side. SAP also recommends that you create new permission roles for inactive users. That's for sure. Okay, next one. Thank you. Yeah, as I said, so they invest quite a bit in UI topics. So the enhancements include also the field masking now, which is available for all custom objects and MDF object cards. We have the visibility of direct reports when you're a manager, including the team size. That's what you see on the right-hand side. And now we also support up to 3 customizable header fields in a full people profile. Yeah, and in addition to that, the work schedule is now visible in both job information and time management section. Yes. Thanks. And this actually I like personally. So we have a new homepage experience. So it's a redesigned homepage, streamlined layout with quick actions in a top toolbar, as you see on the right-hand side. Personalized greetings, featured and system-generated cards organized by relevance, compact custom cards with filterable subsections, and new personalization options, including banner and analytics cards. So it's quite user-friendly, I would say. Those were the highlights actually on the platform. I will now jump to the Employee Central highlights, and here I also will focus on UI changes, basically. So for you see on the full people profile, SAP now has the save button always active. As you see, you don't see it on the right-hand side, but you see the Boolean fields, so it's much clearer, right? It's not yes, no anymore, but it's more or less like a checkbox. And the visibility of previous values is displayed in another form. So you can see them previously below the field. A new attachment UI we have. And editable fields in employment and termination details are updated, excluding hire date, contingent worker status, assignment ID, and termination date. So those fields you cannot edit anymore when you use the latest people profile, right? To make use of the settings, you have to go to the configure latest people profile in the general settings and enable the latest editing and history UI for Employee Central HIS entities. So this is a prerequisite you have to do to see those changes in the UI. And then, as already mentioned a bit, the new history of the full people profile. So it's a completely new redesigned history UI. It now displays only changed fields on a single page, right, for faster review. It's something you can see on the number 2 on the right-hand side. It includes also a toggle to view all fields, highlights changes in a panel for entities like job or personal information, and introduces a change detail section showing creation and modification info. So which I personally also like, because then you can directly see who changed what. Jumping over to the next slide, Elena. Thanks. This was a requirement coming from the customer community. Previously was not, we were not able to create custom alert messages with extended tokens. This is now possible via document generation group, so you can use alerts, especially for time off, quite useful. And you can play around a bit with the tokens and enrich your existing alerts. You don't have to, right? That's important. If you have already existing alerts, they will continue to be like that. But it's, I think, a nice feature to rework your alerts if you have some. Thanks, Elena. Next, thank you. Yeah, then we have workflow enhancement in the latest people profile. Basically, also some UI changes. So it includes now so when you trigger workflow, a pop-up appears and it triggers now, or it displays separate lines for contributors and CC roles. And here also duplicate suppression is implemented. And it also default collapse of non-approver roles, right? And it's also permission-based visible. So that means if you don't have access to a user who is an approver, right, you would not see him there, right? And of course, when you interact in the workflow itself and you go on update, you're getting now redirected directly to the personal information, which I find pretty nice. Yeah. Okay. That was it for Employee Central. And for time management, we have basically one nice feature. So when you have clock in, clock out employees, they are now automatically synchronized when going on a return from a leave of absence, or if they go on leave of absence, right? Eliminating the need of manual syncs, right? And ensure job information updates trigger the correct employee status for clock in, clock out employees. Right? So this is quite useful. You don't have to think about it anymore because it's getting done automatically. And one big enhancement from my perspective is the geofencing for clock times. So it now allows you as an organization to restrict time recording to specific locations. Just assume you're on the parking lot, try to clock in, clock out, but you are not near the office, right? You are not allowed to clock in, clock out, right? That was also a feature requested by a customer community. That's something you can set up with the new configure clock in and clock out assignment and on the clock in and clock out groups. I personally really like that, but for sure you have to decide, right, if you want to go with it. Okay, but I think that was it from my side. I would now hand over to Anita, I guess, right?
Thank you, Stefan. For the recruiting module, there are several new features and updates. I would like to start with 2 minor enhancements, followed by several major enhancements. And one of the minor enhancements is the possibility for recruiters to use 2 powerful new filters, the assessment score and assessment recommendation, to refine applicant lists based on candidates' performance in assessments. These filters allow recruiters to quickly identify top-performing candidates and make data-driven hiring decisions, significantly enhancing the efficiency and accuracy of the recruitment process. Before using these filters, it's important to ensure that the assessment integration is properly configured. So this integration connects your recruitment system with third-party assessment vendors, allowing candidate scores and recommendations to be imported automatically. And for detailed steps on setting up and managing integrations with external assessment providers, feel free to contact us or your implementation partner. The next minor enhancement is for the applicant management tool. With the redesigned applicant management tool, recruiters and administrators now have a greater flexibility to enrich candidate profiles through the candidate profile extension portlet. This enhancement allows you to capture additional candidate details and store customized information beyond the standard fields, and enabling a more complete and tailored view of each applicant. You now have the possibility to create and manage custom fields directly in the admin center, allowing you to tailor candidate profiles to meet your company's specific recruitment and compliance needs. In addition to the previously supported Boolean pick list and string fields from the legacy applicant management tool, the candidate profile extension now supports the following additional fields. It's the character large object for storing large text entries such as notes, summaries, or extended descriptions. Then we have the date and date time for recording dates and timestamps, such as certification validity and or interview scheduling. We also have the field type decimal and number for numeric values such as scores, ratings, or salary expectations. And then we have the foundational object to link candidate data with core HR entries, for example, departments, business units, and so on. And last but not least, the generic object to reference or associate data from custom defined objects within your system. As requirement, you need to have the access to non-secured objects permission. One of the major enhancements is the new brand settings tab in the Career Site Builder. So if your organization manages multiple employer brands within Career Site Builder, you can now customize a broader range of career site settings for each brand individually. So this enhancement provides greater flexibility and control over how each brand is presented to the candidates, ensuring a consistent and unique experience that aligns with the brand's identity and messaging. There are several brand-specific settings that are available now. You have, for once, the site information, so you can define brand-specific site details, such as the page titles and metadata. This helps to optimize each career site for search visibility. Then we have the site URL. You can configure the site URL for each brand. We have email settings. There you can configure the sender address for each brand used in job alerts and email campaigns. This ensures that candidates receive emails that reflect the correct brand identity and contact details. Within the result cards, you can customize how job postings are displayed on each brand's career site. And within the search filters, you can define exact search filters like job category, location, department, and so on, who should appear on each branded career site. So this allows you to provide candidates with a more relevant and personalized job experience. The only requirement for this enhancement is that you have enabled the unified data model. Another major enhancement is the LinkedIn Recruiter System Connect integration with SAP SuccessFactors Recruiting. This integration provides a smooth connection between LinkedIn Recruiter and your SuccessFactors environment. It allows real-time data sharing and synchronization of critical recruiting information, including candidates, applications, job requisitions, and ensuring that recruiters can work efficiently across both platforms without any duplication or data inconsistencies. By connecting these two powerful recruiting tools, organizations gain a unified, streamlined workflow that enhances collaboration between hiring teams and, of course, improves overall talent acquisition efficiency. Regarding the requirements, you'll need administrative access to both the LinkedIn Recruiter and, of course, SAP SuccessFactors Recruiting. Regarding LinkedIn, your organization needs the license, and you need to review and accept the LinkedIn cookie policy. And as far as the permission requirements, you have to have the Manage LinkedIn setup and implementation permission, and also ensure that you have the permission LinkedIn developer application and LinkedIn integration configuration. Our final highlight for the recruiting module is the multi-factor authentication for agency users. So as a recruiting administrator, you can now enable multi-factor authentication using identity authentication service for agency users. The IAS provides the option to configure MFA authentication. This enhances security for agency users by requiring additional authentication methods during the login. So once configured, these settings are applicable to all agency users. The new setting, Identity Authentication Service for agency users, has been introduced under the Admin Center, Manage Recruiting Settings, Agency Portal section. When the section or the setting is enabled, it enables IAS for multi-factor authentication. This feature ensures that all communications are securely managed through IAS, providing a more robust and secure login process for agency users. The only requirement is that your instance must be integrated with IAS, and an agency-specific application must be created within the IAS console. And that's it for the recruiting module. And now I would like to hand over to Flora.
Thank you, Anita. I will take over from here. So hello, everyone. I'm Flora, and I will share for the onboarding latest release. Okay. SAP has released enhanced rehire verification with national ID validation, and this is a minor enhancement feature. So now you can perform early data validation to prevent errors caused by identical national IDs. So this functionality is available now on the rehire verification page in the onboarding process. So during the onboarding rehire verification, whenever there is any new hires, national ID matches with the existing record. So basically the system will prevent to proceed. Therefore, this will avoid the duplicates entries. As you can see on the right-hand side screenshots for the button to proceed as new hire is already grayed out. So ensure that you cannot select it when a national ID match is detected. So for this one, there is no requirement needed as it is automatically on, and this is for information only. Moving on to the next slide. I will talk about the automated email notification for pre-onboarding rehire verification task. So a new email template called onboarding pre-onboarding rehire template is now added to the list of pre-configured templates, as you can see in the first screenshot. So now you can also trigger automated email notification to remind responsible users to complete the pre-onboarding rehire verification task. This email actually notifies the users to complete the task and also navigates them to the task page. So for this feature is also for information only and is automatically on. Meanwhile, for the RBP prerequisites, Elena. So meanwhile, for the Elena. Yeah. So for the RBP requisites, you have to have the necessary permissions to access the email services in the admin center. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Okay, so SAP has also released this very major feature for the offboarding dashboard enhancement. So now managers and offboarding participants can now experience an enhanced offboarding dashboard, which provides 3 additional functionalities. The first one would be the additional filters to narrow down the employee results, as you can see in the first screenshot. So by default, the enhanced offboarding dashboard displays the filters. For example, name, offboarding status, termination date, manager, task type, task status, task ownership, and also the alumni access. So for the second functionality is the additional details specific to employees leaving the organization. You can refer to the second screenshot on your right side, whereby you can see a list of task status, whether there is any open task or is already completed. So for the third functionality is the ability to create and set variants for filters. You may refer to the third screenshot. For example, you can create new variant like the managed employees and so on according to your need. Meanwhile, for the configuration requirements, you need to navigate to the admin center, the onboarding general settings, and then turn on the enhanced offboarding dashboard settings. And also you need to have the to enable the 2 of the below permissions for the RBP prerequisites. So this feature is recommended and also needs to be configured by the customer. Moving on to the next slide, I will share regarding the automate onboarding initiation from recruiting. So this is also a major feature released by SAP this time. You can now automatically initiate the onboarding process for candidates who are already ready to be hired from recruiting. So if you choose to use a combination of automatic and manual onboarding initiation, then you need to use the new trigger automatic initiation of onboarding business rules, which you can find in the configure business rules page. And then you can also configure it according to your business need. So for your information, the onboarding process is automatically initiated only after the recruiting processes, such as offer approval are completed and also the candidate is moved to ready to hire in recruiting. And also important note that the new applicant management experience must be enabled all the time for this option to be displayed on the onboarding integration setup page. So meanwhile, for the configuration requirements, you need to go to the admin center and then to select the enable latest applicant workbench. And then for the recruiters, they also need to go to the recruiting site, go to the job requisition tab, candidates option, and then enable the new applicant management experience switch. So for this feature is also recommended and customer configured. Last one for onboarding, creating reports for onboarding tasks. So now you can use the story reports to generate reports of onboarding tasks based on its due date. So you can use the aggregated details table in the story reports for the following onboarding tasks, such as data collection, onboarding tasks, compliance forms, Form I-9, and also e-verify. So meanwhile, for the configuration requirements, you need to ensure that story reports is enabled in the system. Meanwhile, for the RBP prerequisite, you need also to enable the onboarding or offboarding object permissions, aggregated details permission. So using the process table in the onboarding schema, now you can view the aggregated details related table. So you can refer to the first screenshot on your right side. So this status report helps actually the organizations effectively identify and segregate onboarding tasks based on its due date, and so saving time and also effort required to classify them manually. That's all from my side. I will pass it to Justus to explain for the talent management part. Thank you.
Thank you, Flora, and hello from my side. I will take over now the talent management topics. And we are starting with the performance and goals chapter. Before I start with this chapter, it's important to say this chapter also includes the release notes for the calibration and also for the talent intelligence hub. One of the releases in the performance and goals module are the purge goals by goal idea. Now with this release, it's possible that you can now purge performance and development goals by the goal ID through legacy purge request. That was in the past not possible, and I think in case of the data retention management in the admin tool, it's a really cool feature to use it and purge now the goals by the goal ID, or even the performance and development goals. And it's automatically on, so it's a really nice feature for you. Then a really important and also a good feature for you, and I think most of you are waiting for this in the past, is the upload and update and also the download from the XML files directly in the front end via managed templates. So now you can directly update and download the XML files directly in the front end system, and you don't need a provisioning access for this to do that. It's a customer configured thing, and this is setting up in the role-based permissions. But I think it's really helpful for you to check the XML files and also to upload the XML files directly for the performance forms, but also for the goal plans and development plans, and 360 forms as well. Then we also have minor enhancements to the latest goal management feature. Here on the right side, we can see how it looks before and after, and this is only just an example from different updates we have here in the minor enhancements. For example, you can see here the bar at the top in the performance goals of the status, how it looks like before, and now it's a bit more like modern look and feel. And as I said, this is just an example. You can also see this minor enhancements for improved error messages, for reserved field IDs, for example, or also for warning messages. And I know from my experiences in the customer projects that this is or that was a wish in the past, that the warning or error messages will be a bit more clearer to see for the customers and end users in the system. And I think that's a really good feature. Then Similar to the EC release, we also have now in the performance module the opportunity to transfer individual talent data from inactive to active employment. So that means that you can now transfer an individual's talents data from the inactive to active employment all at once using the managed individual talent data transfer tool. And this is supported for the goal management and also for the career development, but also for performance management, 360 reviews, continuous performance management, and the calibration for sure. And you need to enable this under the admin center, company system and logo settings. And then you have the option to enable the individual talent data transfer from inactive to active employment. Then this is a really cool feature, and from my personal point of view, the most important update we have now in this release in the second half of 2025 is enhanced business rules and scenarios in the performance forms. And I know that that was a wish from the community in the previous years. And this is really a cool feature because now we can work with business rules directly in the performance management templates. For example, if you have a rating scale enabled and the rating is selected by 1, then you can say like if then, so if the rating is 1, then the comment field will be open and yeah, the user can enter a comment, and just as an example. But I think this is a really, really cool feature and where we can work with in the future. And this helps us to reduce the count of templates and yeah, bring the performance templates on a next level with these business rules. And it's yeah, enabled in the performance management feature settings in the admin tool. And I think so from my side, it's my favorite in this release, and I'm pretty sure that's also for you a really big point in your systems and for your templates. Then this is really, really, really important because the legacy form experience will be deactivated, and the new UI of the performance form will be activated or is still activated, but the development of the legacy experience of performance management forms will reach end by this release. So mid of November, from the SAP, they say they stop the end of development for the legacy performance management, and it will completely deleted by next year, so on November 20th, 2026. And this is really, really important for you because most of the customers, I think, are using still the legacy performance management forms. And it's really important that you will get more and more familiar with the latest experience of the performance management forms, because it will be, yeah, as I said, deleted by end of next year, and the development ends yeah, with this release and mid of November this year. And yeah, we are really happy to support you doing this switch. So please feel free to contact us if you need support or you have further questions, or if you're not have a chance yet to see the new UI for the latest performance management forms, we can also set up a call to show you the new latest performance management forms. And yeah, for us, it's really important that you know this. This will be ended or deleted by end of next year. So this is more like information for you, and this is really, really important. Then the AI features will, yeah, more and more be enabled from the SAP side, and we have now the enhanced AI assisted writing in performance management forms. and also the generate comments by AI support. And this is a really cool feature because it supports the end user by writing comments or avoid writing mistakes and using the AI during the performance process. And this is a really cool feature to support the end user and make the whole process a bit modern. And you can also speed up your processes with AI support. And this is a really cool feature, and I'm pretty sure that it will come more and more from the SAP side. But it's here important to know that you have purchased the AI units license to use this. Then when we jump over to the calibration releases, here we have a new cool feature in the managed calibration templates. Here we can say, okay, we would like to auto-activate the calibration sessions like we have it already in the performance forms when we launch a performance form. And it's a really cool tool because you can plan now your calibration sessions on a date, and then you can launch it in the future. This is a really good feature to plan your calibration sessions, and then it will be automatically activated, your calibration sessions. Then also in the calibration sessions, you can now track rating changes in the calibration sessions. So the rating change history is available in the calibration session. This is also, from my point of view, a really nice feature because in the calibration session, you have also always discussions and change ratings. And in the previous years, it was not able to see the rating history. But now we can see it here on the right-hand side. We have the rating change icon or rating change history icon, where we can now see exactly the rating change history, and it's automatically on. Then when we jump over to the Talent Intelligence Hub or to the growth portfolio, which is also included, here we have a really nice AI feature, which is also purchased with the AI license. But here with this feature, we have the opportunity to add a resume or a CV into our growth portfolio. Now the user can here upload their resume through the add from resume option in the growth portfolio. We can see the button here on the right-hand side on the screenshot, and then the system will analyze your CV using the SAP SuccessFactors universal skills and put all your important points from your CV directly in the system, and you can use it in the growth portfolio. Then also in the Talent Intelligence Hub or in the growth portfolio, we have the opportunity to synchronize the attributes from the development goals. So that means attributes which are linked to a development goal are now directly synchronized to the employee's growth portfolio. This is a good opportunity to connect both elements together, and attributes can be linked to the development goals. And this is a really cool feature for the employee, because when an employee has link attributes to a development goal, then it's directly also in the growth portfolio. Then here we have now the mapping from the attributes to the job roles in the job profile builder. So that means that you can now map custom attributes created in Talent Intelligence Hub to job roles. And that's a really cool feature, because in the job profile builder, our job roles in the previous releases or years, it was not possible to add attributes here. But in my personal view, it rounds the big picture Now we can set up here the attributes from the talent intelligence hub directly to the job roles and map these directly here. Then we have an enhancement to the attributes pages in the growth portfolio with new filter options. So you can now use additional filter options and sorting options for attributes in the growth portfolio. Here we can now use the filters proficiency level, categories, tags, and last updated. And yeah, you have the administrator via manage template, manage talent intelligence hub settings, and then you can set these filters by clicking view manage talent intelligence hub setting role-based permissions. And I think that's a really good feature to yeah, to give the end users more filter options and sorting options here. Then a really a good thing and a really good feature from my point of view, and I know from different customers that was in the previous time a big wish. You can now change the proficiency level scale associated with an attribute type in the talent intelligence hub afterwards. So this means in the earlier stage, after the growth portfolio was activated or enabled, the proficiency level scale couldn't be changed for attribute types. But now with this release, you have the opportunity and you can change the proficiency level scale with an attribute type. Even the growth portfolio has been enabled. Yeah, and it's automatically on, and I think it's a really, really nice feature. Then also an AI-based feature is that in addition to the skill names, you can now use the AI-assisted skill inference features to also infer skill descriptions to the attributes library. And this gives you just a bit more details. Then we have the requesting feedback from assigned stakeholders. That's also a good feature because administrators can request feedback for completed assignments from stakeholders now. And it's a major thing, and you can enable this in the role-based permissions with the opportunity marketplace under configure assignments and under system properties with the email notification template settings if you also want to send out the email notification here. Then we have the customizing interfaces of create assignments and assignment details. Administrators can customize the interfaces of the create assignments page and the assignment details page by adjusting the status and display order of standard fields here, and we can see it on the screenshots on the right side that within the configure assignments, administrators can set the status of the standard fields to required, optional, or hidden. And it's also setting up in the role-based permissions. Then we have adding pay grade-based filtering for open job recommendations. We can see it here on the right-hand side, before and after. Before it was disabled, and now it's enabled. And the administrator can request feedback for completed assignments from stakeholders. And it's also setting up in the RBPs under opportunity marketplaces and then manage opportunity marketplace configuration. Then we can continue with the development and succession part. Here we have also an AI-based feature. So if the AI assigned goal creation feature is enabled, users can now work with generative AI to create development goals. And you can see it on the right-hand side that you can have like a search bar or a typing field in this option, and with the tell us what you want to achieve, you can type in just a keyword, and then I will generate for you a completely filled out development goal, and it's still possible to edit this goal generated by AI. And this is enabled also in the role-based permissions. Then we have the view recommended assignments and learning opportunities for development goals. So you can see it here on the screenshot on the right-hand side. Users can now view assignments and learning opportunities directly in the development plan, and they can see, okay, which assignments or learning opportunities are matched skills, and then you can have more opportunities for the end users to improve the learning skills and also achieve the development goals with these learning opportunities. Then we have sort a succession org chart by position or employee title. Same level nodes in the succession org chart can be sorted alphabetically by position title or employee title now. In the previous years, it was still the opportunity to do this by the incumbent's username, but now with this release, it's available to sort this succession org chart by position title or by employee title. Then we have another AI feature here, and that's AI-assisted successor recommendations. So if you are in the succession planning to plan a new successor for a position, then you can also use the AI feature here, and the AI feature generates skill match-based selection for you and give you successors based on these matched skills, and then you have pre-selection from different successors with these matched skills based on the AI analysis. The same is here for the enhanced suggested successors feature. So this feature now supports using the skills and competency proficiency level from growth portfolio, and additionally users can now view a role readiness explanation for each suggested successors, and it's automatically on, and you can see it's more and more with this matching in the system, and AI will become more and more relevant for these talent modules. Then we switch over to the learning module. Here it's a really important thing then, because the universal rollout of the new learning homepage will become. So that means the new learning homepage is now universally enabled for all customers. So this is really, really important that you know this. And we have now the latest version of the learning homepage, and with this update, all remaining customers will still using the legacy experiences are automatically on and upgraded to the new experiences, and it's not possible that you use the legacy learning homepage. And we can move on. Then we have the change assignment due dates from the team view. So managers can now use the team view page to edit due dates for items that are either independent or part of curricula, as long as these items were originally assigned by a manager. And you can see it here on the right-hand side on the screenshot, that you can directly manage this in the learning module here. And it's automatically on. Then another good feature in the team view page in the learning module is that managers can view subordinates classes with withdraw them from the class by selecting the more actions. You can see it here also on the right-hand side on the screenshot. So if you can see here a class, then you can withdraw it directly. Then here we have the configuration to hide enhanced search filters. So yeah, administrators can now control which search filters displayed to learners on the Find Learnings page, and you can yeah, select this individually, and it's automatically on it. I think it's a really good feature to improve the yeah, to improve the search filters, and it supports you during the search for perfect learning. Then we have the enhanced support for secondary instructions in virtual learning sessions. So here secondary instructors can launch and manage assigned virtual learning sessions directly from the My Classes dashboard of the learning homepage, similar to Premier instructions. And here it's important that's also automatically on, and you have added instructions to a virtual class time slot and assigned one instructor as a primary instructor from classes. Yeah, that's really important to know. Then we have the search results improvement for German compound words. So that means improvement on how the system handles compound words in the German language to provide better matches in the enhanced search results. And here it's important that the enhanced search must be enabled, otherwise you can't use it. Then we have the connectors now process user records with future termination dates. So users record with no active set to an N and term underscore DTE set in the future are now proceed with you import them through the user connector. And it's here important that you have the edit user connector SF and the edit user connector permissions in the role-based permissions enabled. Then we go over to the compensation part. Here we have the custom field visibility on the compensation profile. So you can see it here on the right hand side that you can now control the visibility of custom fields separately for the compensation profile and the worksheet in the design worksheet tool by using these both yeah, hide options, and you can decide which columns you want to show. Then we have advanced filters options on the worksheet. So advanced filtering is now supported on worksheets for compensation, variable pay, and total compensation plans. And you can set up to 30 criteria per filter. To enable it, it's important that you go to the compensation homepage, then actions for all plans, and then you can use the company settings to manage the filters on the worksheet. Then we have enhanced capabilities for mass actions. Mass actions now support the salary, bonus, and stock tabs in the executive review, and you can apply changes using percentages and numerical values. And it's automatically on, but you need the admin permissions for compensation to use it. Then that's a really cool feature for the compensation module. You have the option to route all compensation forms in the inbox. And with this button, you can see on the right-hand side, route all forms. A new route all forms button lets you move multiple forms forward or backward in the route at once. And then we have the automated budget calculation for spot awards. So with the button you can see on the right-hand side, automated budget calculation, you can now enable automated budget calculation for spot award programs, allowing the system to calculate budgets automatically, which supports you during the calculation. And then I will take over to Veena for the people analytics topics.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, so moving on to people analytics. First up, we have people analytics product name is no longer in use. This is basically because people analytics tools will continue being included under the platform license. This update is just to align with the licensing structure within SuccessFactors. Moving forward, all product function in SAP for me with regards to reporting can be found under the section of the platform product. This is for your information only. Next slide, please, Linda. For enhancement to foundation object reporting and story reports, you can now include the data for contributors and CC roles from workflow process details in story report. Previously, these were not directly reportable within the story report. This release supports your reporting needs by providing details of your organization's workflow processes. This release is also generally available and automatically turned on. Next slide, please, Alina. And the last part for people analytics, we have employment-based work permit reportable story reports. Previously, work permits were user-based, which complicates the visibility for HR. Employees has multiple employments, especially when it comes to termination and hiring cases. So now HR can generate story reports on work permits based on employment status, which allows HR to view permits from both current and previous employment. This is also a general availability and it is automatically turned on. There is no requirement for it. Thank you. Over to you, Elena.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your valuable insights, Vina, Stefan, Flora, Justus, and Anita. We hope that today's sessions gave you a valuable insight and across the SAP SuccessFactors models. We hope this supports you in the activation and configuration of the new features in your system. And just a quick reminder, the release will be available in your production system starting November the 14th. If you need any support from our side with the configuration or activation, we're happy to assist you. So, thank you so much for taking part in today's webinar. Later today, you will receive the recording, the slides, and the Q&A document. And we hope you have a great day now. And we look forward to see you again in one of our next webinars.